Hello YouTube, being in the bedroom here. Your guitar junkie. You know, still a little jamming. But I got a story for you about the stupid market. Yeah, I call it the stupid market, not the supermarket. So, let's make some noise. Skips. What I mean? What was that? Short and sweet, you know, 3 minutes worth, almost, maybe, I don't know. You see, yeah, 3 minutes worth. So, this is my 2010 Agile. Real deal Grover tuners, mahogany set neck and body. Blueberry burst, this was called when I got it. Bluish, greenish, kind of. Love it. Tiger, flame maple, tiger veneer. No, flame maple, tiger. Flame maple, tiger. Maple flame. It's a cap, all right? It's a f***ing cap. Tiger maple. Cap. What's gotten into me? Ebony fingerboard, 22 medium jumbo frets. With abalone. It's not your average baloney, it's abalone. Trapezoid inlays. Graphite nut and graphite saddle savers on the bridge. Yeah, keeps it in tune. They all stay in tune. So I just had to check to make sure I had no splitting on here. It doesn't. I'm great. I'm thankful for that. And I like how the trapezoid ends here. It kind of bothers me, I have to say, when it ends up here, or starts up here. It's going to start here, make them square, like a custom. I did see one of these today, used. I think it was like $300. It didn't have a series, you know, so I don't know what model it was, but it was black with the trapezoid inlays, rosewood fingerboard with three pickups configuration. It looked kind of cool, but I just, you know, just wasn't for me, kind of thing. But yeah, I had my eye on. They had an Epiphone. An Agile SG. I was thinking of my natural Epiphone that I had. My mind goes in two different directions. Yeah, it looked like a nice orange flame maple top on there with an ebony fingerboard. And I was like, you know, I was saving it. I was looking at it every day. And the truth of it was like $349. Truth of the matter is there's guitars that I just love to look at, but I'm not comfortable playing. And with an SG, you know, the strap goes back here. It's all neck. It sits too far away from me. You know, the single cut Les Paul styles, believe it or not, I'm more comfortable with now with my shoulder and the way I have to play. I was trying to play standing up like this, and what I wound up doing is I wound up leaning with my elbow, putting a lot of force on the guitar, a lot of weight to keep it on an angle for me to play it, so I can't wrap my arm around it. But I was looking at that, and luckily someone finally bought it, because I didn't want to get it and then return it again, you know. Just like the, what is it, the Explorers, the Z-shaped with the, you know, the headstock that goes down like the banana headstocks, the hockey sticks. I love those too. And I have a DVD of Gary Moore playing a white one in concert. But again, I had a Gibson custom Explorer, and it had an ebony fingerboard. And I sitting down or standing up, I just wasn't comfortable with it. Same thing with the Flying V. I had two Flying Vs. I had a 1980 Gibson white Flying V that I played at one of the gigs at the beach with an ebony fingerboard. And that thing was a smoking guitar, but and it looked cool on video when I watched the video back, but I wasn't comfortable with it. So, and now after the last surgery, I'm more comfortable with an you know, a single cut SC Les Paul style guitar. More so than my Strats that I love, that I used to always be a Strat guy. So go figure, right? Plus, you know, I'm leaning more towards the hardtail, which I've never done in my entire life since I started playing guitar. Other than my acoustic guitar, my very first electric had a half-ass kind of Bigsby whammy bar. That was horrible because as soon as you used it, all the strings were out of tune. But always had a bar, always had something to go for, just for little accents. And kind of like broke away from that and switched teams, you know, flip-flopped on the whole thing. But so I go into the stupid market yesterday, get a couple items for dinner, and you know, I like making Italian meatballs, spaghetti meatballs, sausage, and portobello mushrooms. So I love when I make meatballs from scratch. I have an old recipe from an old Italian recipe from YouTube that I found years ago, which I love. But I wasn't in, and I like using fresh ground meat. I don't like using chopped meat and then freezing it and then defrosting it, making meatballs, and then, you know, I rather make it with fresh chopped meat the day I bought it, cook, you know, the ones for the family, put the other ones in Ziploc bags in the freezer for you know, the next time. But I was lazy. I didn't feel like doing that yesterday, and I had a couple of, you know, back and forths with a guy on Facebook Marketing, trying to barter, make a trade. So I wasn't sure, you know, when that was going to happen, and I didn't want to be stuck at home. So I grabbed, you know, portobello mushroom. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. I'll grab that and some sausage, and you know, either or. I needed sausage anyway. And came home and ripped open the bag, and as soon as I ripped it open, I had 2 portobello mushrooms from my wife and I, and it was green slime. And I didn't even see that in the store. You know, it was under the label, and I was trying to rinse it off. They were slimy. They had an odor to it. I was like, ugh. Put them back in the bag and returned them today. But while I was also there yesterday, as soon as I walked in to the store, I walked in behind a woman that went over to the grapes. I went over where the grapes or the portobello mushrooms are, not far down. And she puts a hand in a bag of grapes, pulls out a couple, sticks them in the mouth, walks away, looks at me. I look right at her like, you got some balls to do that. She didn't even give a crap. So I'm like, man. And I've seen that before too. I've seen guys go over to the donuts and take a whole donut, just like Groundhog Day, where he takes that cake and shoves the whole donut in their mouth. You know, I saw a couple of guys doing that. 2 guys that went in to the store, went right over to the donuts, ate the donuts, and then walked away. So as I'm grabbing my couple of items, I'm going to check out. You know, they had those hot carts where they put the chicken, the rotisserie chicken or the fried chicken that they made that day to keep them warm. And they have, like, you know, other things. I can't, my daughter used to like the other stuff they used to sell. I forget what it was. But they also had popcorn chicken. It was like a cup with a lid on it. And as I'm going to the cashier, here's the heat tray, the cart. An old man walks in, goes over, grabs the last cup of you know, popcorn chicken, pops it open, puts his grubby man hands in there, shoves a handful in his mouth, puts the lid back, and puts it back on the tray. I don't know why I was so infuriated. First of all, this, you know, old man hands, you don't know what he's doing with those hands, if he's, you know, fidgeting, you know, playing pocket pool, whatever. And then he puts it on, you know, those hands on the food that he's not going to buy, eats some, puts the lid back on, and then walks away. The other thing that pissed me off is that it's sold by net weight, or, you know, I guess in that case, and someone's going to pay for the net weight that was in the cup, and then they get ripped off. The other thing that really pissed me off is that I bought chicken from the store. I've got like an 8-piece fried chicken. There's a Winn-Dixie that it's within walking distance from my house. They make the best fried chicken and rotisserie chicken for the money that I've ever had. Better than the other stores that I've been in. And, you know, I bought 8-piece. I brought it home. I opened it up. We start, you know, divvying it out. And there's only 7 pieces in there. And I was, you know, so all of this was brought back to life when I saw this, you know, old man put his grubby old man hands, you know, in the cup of popcorn chicken, shove them in his mouth like the woman prior to that, you know, with the grapes, put it back, and then just walk away like, okay, I'm entitled to do that. No, you're not. That just annoyed the crap right out of me. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I had to go back there today and return My mushrooms. Yeah, so that's it. My rant is over. A lot of people are commenting on the Agile guitars. I think that there's a handful that knew about these guitars prior to my knowledge, and they're the ones like me that are just getting turned on to these guitars and realize just how freaking great they are. These are, you can't beat. I don't get, you know, a nickel for any of my videos, for any advertisement, for pushing a sale of a guitar for a company, manufacturer, whatever. These things used from Guitar Center are fantastic. And if you want something brand new, that's no one's ever laid a hand on it, there may be a couple hundred more, 200 more, 250, between $200 and $300 more for a brand new one, right from the factory. You know, Rondo's music, I think it is. Rondo's music. Yeah, Kirk. So I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm getting, because I just had a thought. I knew we had a magic. We had a magic shop on Long Island. You know, I would imagine he's still there. Ronjo's Magic, and he moved from, I think, Miller Place to Setauket or something. He moved off of Main Road, I think like 112 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I was friends with him, and because I used to do magic, and I used to do magic shows. I used to do parties, benefit. I did a huge benefit one year that they were raising money, having you know, people with families would come and buy food for their families to raise money for the homeless and the needy. And I was asked from Ron if I can do a magic show, and I did. I did the whole show there, and so I hope I'm not confusing Ronjo's with Rondo's. I think it's correct. But that's a story for another time because that was a bit of an experience. It was, I don't know how many hundreds of people there, and I had like a semicircle, you know, from one end to the other, and a guy with a video camera trying to come behind me to see what I'm doing, to catch my tricks. I was like, dude, like that's not cool. I was called the Ninja Magician. I had a full ninja uniform, full ninja gi. I used to sell stuff for Asian World of Martial Arts, and I used to, you know, once you sell X amount of dollars on stuff, you would get free stuff. So I would pass my catalog around to my friends and all, and they pick out things, buy a bunch of stuff. I place the order. As soon as I get it, I give them their stuff, but I get stuff for free. So I got a free ninja uniform, the head thing, the hand, the whole bit. So when I started doing magic, I only did it like, you know, for fun as a kid. When I was in school, I used to do it. A science teacher and I used to put on shows. And when I was older and I was doing it, I didn't mind it, you know, too much. I would do birthday parties, but I kind of felt funny. Like when I'm at a gig, I've got my band behind me and I got a guitar in my hands. And for some reason, the fear is not there. So when I did magic, I was kind of nervous, and you don't want to be nervous because you know, like the old song, "Nervous magician waiting in the wings." You don't want to mess up the trick. And so I put the you know, the gi on, and I would just act like a Japanese, hey, adore, and do that, and never really have to speak. And if I did, hey, you, come and help her, you know, like that, I will probably get ripped apart by the woke world now by imitating like that and speaking like that. But yeah, that's what I did, and I was able to gain my conscience, regain my confidence in doing the show and performing flawlessly. You know all the tricks I had to do, because I had it all in sequence. And at the end of it, I had this thing, and I may have mentioned this one time before. I had this box. I give a balloon to a kid. I have him blow it up, tie it in a knot, put it in the box. I come down, and the box had like a big square sledgehammer kind of thing with a handle. Pops the balloon. I pull it out, and there's candy everywhere. Well, when I did that, the kids came up, and they were hanging off the table that I just spent the week working on. I got a tripod kind of drum stand from a cymbal from the music store, and I put a bass on it. I got a piping from Home Depot, and I screwed a bass onto it. I got felt that I stapled around it, put a ribbon, had a black shower curtain so I could have my drop bag, in there. These kids were hanging off the table, man, and almost like destroying the table at the end of the show. But it went off good. And I'm in the back, and the two people in charge, it was like a husband and wife team, come in and say, that was fantastic. They loved it. Can you come back next year? I just said no. It was just too stressful. And then to see, the parents weren't listening to me. I asked them to keep their kids away from me. Kids were coming up to me, kind of thing. Can you control your kids? Oh, my uncle's a real ninja, stuff like that. Oh, I know that trick. And then, I got a father. I know how you did that. Well, shut up, Paul. This is for the kids. It's not for you to try to figure out what I'm doing. It's a magic trick. It's like a professional con man. I'm here to con you into believing I did something that I really didn't do. Why you gotta be a dick? But that's the kind of stuff that happened. And I stopped that pretty quickly after that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.